Up this morning with the most intense nasal blockage that you could actually imagine. It is what it is. You get over one thing and then your allergies go wild. I'm thinking it's got to be more than a dog. It's got to be something going on. But you get all your remedies, and it helps to use like a saline solution in this device that I just showed. Although we have one of these for at night, if you're going to use air conditioning to introduce moisture into the air, you got that too. Got another unit that's actually a nebulizer in case you ever really needed it. There you go. And of course, this little device here, if you're just tuning in, sometimes you need what you need. But when you got nasal you got congestion, you got to do what you have to do, whether it means buying or using certain prescription and non-prescription medicines. The same as the other thing, when this is portable. Pretty cool, huh? Actually, it is. I was watching, America's Got Talent. This Italian guy, Sal, 20 years old, from Long Island. Now, you notice I said Long Island instead of two words, Long Island, because that's the way Italians talked. And I was listening to his accent, and I said, yeah, that pretty much sounded like me during my years actually living in New York. There's different kind of Italian accents if you're Italian American, and you don't have to be Italian. But Brooklyn, very pronounced. Bronx, of course, and so forth. And he sung one of Frank Sinatra's songs, "Have It My Way." Well, it's the only way to have it is your way, and not anybody else's way. You live your life the way you want to live it, not the way somebody else expects you. Sorry. As I pretty much always lived my life my way, because that's the only way. Why do you want to live somebody else's life? Or have somebody tell you should be doing this, you should be doing that, you should be doing this. Now, you want the Italian to come out of me? I'll show you. Yeah, how you doing? How you doing? And I was laughing because it's true. And on this show on America's Got Talent, all he was saying, how you doing? How you doing? It's true. It's true. It's true. That's part of the culture. How you doing? How you doing? I guess I missed some of that. Came a long way from New York and then, here and there and lost some of it. Not all of it, but I lost some of it. Because I had a really more defined accent than I actually really do. Raise the final curtain. I'll have it my way. And that's the only way to have it. Got all the obstacles that life, things going on. But it's amazing the human spirit and what a lot of people actually deal with and put up with. A lot. In my culture, I call it my culture, which is actually New York and slash Italian American. I don't know, I was brought up in a way where, well, I've said it 1,000 times, that respect was something that was really important, and you'll give it back, no problem. But the one thing in the Italian culture that really stood out was that, we're pretty tolerable people at New York slash New York until something becomes a little bit intolerable. And all respect goes out the window. All respect for the other person just goes out the window. And I've experienced many situations like that, quite frankly. You know, you got to know when to fold, or you know how it goes. Or you stand back and take abuse. You could do that too. It saves a lot of headache in some ways. But you got to be true to yourself. If something is that adverse in your life, you can't really do. No, there's some things you cannot. So, this has to do with adversities in life, which we've all experienced at some point, and some more than others, and whether it's health or happiness or whatever it might be. I got a guy, I got a inspired AGT. Listen to this Italian guy. I'm not talking about nothing personal here. I told you, I'm staying off that shit. I guess I'm kind of winding down, is what I'm doing. Because I know there's a limit to everything. And that ain't bullshit talk either. There is indeed a limit to just about everything. And you know when you reach that limit and you said, okay, enough is enough. How do I structure this to do the things I need to do? I take care of business. That's what I do. Air conditioner broke down within the same day. I had a couple of guys over here that's what they do for a living. They were here in no time at all. Literally, I'm serious. Taking out the old, putting in the new. Now I got a brand new air conditioner in the living room. I know my comfort level, and some people are happy with just fans. I get away with that in my bedroom. Before I go to bed at night, how personal I want to get here. That's not real personal. I'll turn the air conditioner on, cool the room down. Then I put my fan on the ceiling, brand new fan, 52-inch blades, I think. And I put it on low. And that's adequate. I had it on medium, but I got cold 3/4 into the night, believe it or not. And this is without the air conditioner. Though the one thing we did notice when that air conditioner went down in the living room, which is the main meeting room of everybody here, including my two dogs, running fans was not really tolerable. And some people, they acclimate to that. And sometimes that's good. But when I realize I'm getting older, and I think my comfort level is a lot more important than worry about an electric bill, I'll do what I feel that I actually have to do to make myself comfortable. So that's what I do. You got to take care of yourself before you could take care of anybody else. Okay, that's where my mindset is. I couldn't breathe this morning, seriously, through my nostrils. Then I got, what is that called? On my eye, my right eye is actually very blurry, and that happens now and then. That's where I had a cataract, and I had a new lens put in mucho years ago. That's the eye I always have problems with. It gets irritated really easy. Right now, putting my hand on my left eye, the one that's good, and I'm seeing everything like I'm seeing through a piece of cellophane, clear, opaque or whatever. Go back to my good eye, everything is great. It's called an astigmatism. And I got prescription glasses, but it's not perfect. It doesn't really do the job. That's getting personal there. No kidding, really. It's a black screen. You figured that one out. That's pretty intelligent of you. So I guess my message for today is that when you have adversity, face it head on, because that's the only way to do it. May not work well for the other person, but sometimes you got to do things that you don't want to do, and somebody's forcing your hand. Now that ain't getting too personal. That's kind of where I come from. Has it been 72 hours since I put on a show? Has it? I don't know. I haven't been counting. I guess, like I said on another time, I guess I've been called the 72-hour man. That Frank's not really doing much of any shows, but give him 72 hours or something, and he'll put another show on. Well, I don't know. I haven't really checked. It's been 72 hours. Don't matter. Everything comes to an end, my friends. Everything comes to an end. Our lives, sometimes our YouTube shows, you know pretty much in your own mind when something gets so played out that you have to say to yourself, okay, go down that winding road, wind it down, say what you need to say, and just kind of move on. I think that's fair enough statement. Just kind of move on. If you had to endure stress or allow yourself to get stressed from something that somebody says or does, you're just defeating yourself, is what you're doing. I think we all know a little bit about that. Just be yourself. Take care of business. If it's unfinished, then finish it. If it means your final words, whatever. God, I can't wear that smartwatch. I think the rubber band on there, or whatever it's made of, is doing this shit to my wrist. Believe me, if I was on earlier, I probably wouldn't have been able to be on because I was so stuffed up. So I spent time with this little portable humidifier, put a little salt solution in there. Helped a little bit, of course, taking my different medicine for antihistamine, two totally different types. Then you don't really know what works or not. I've had a nasal corticosteroid that I take care in there. I think you got to take it for a while. Whether it's advisable to use long term, that's debatable in many ways. But it's like whatever works, and that's the key point. Whatever works, you do it. I don't care what we're talking about. Whatever works, do it and make it work for you. Because you're on the receiving end of an inconvenience or whatever. So if you're on the receiving end of something, well, you could stand there and do nothing, or you could try different remedies to make it better, take certain actions to make it better. There's a lot of things you do, a lot of choices you could make in life, and that's entirely up to you. Anyway, I wasn't going to do a long show on here, although I always say that, but no, I have been frequent on here, as you guys obviously know. And I'm not going to make any excuses for coming on. I'm not going to go in that direction. If I'm on a show, I'm doing a live stream, that I did a live stream, so what if I did? It's okay, because as I said, there's going to come a time when there will be absolutely zero shows. And I'm sure there's people out there that don't mind at all that I'm doing a show. Anyways, the sound, I'm definitely kind of kicked back this morning. I slept okay. I really don't know how the hell I slept, really. I don't know. I could say there's a lot of things worse than nasal congestion. There's a lot of things worse. I have a friend that's dying of cancer in New York. I mean, there's a lot of things worse than having blocked sinus passages from extreme allergy. But, you deal with it. There's no cure for chronic allergic rhinitis. There's just none. All you can do is live with it, use whatever material you have in your possession, over-the-counter prescription, whatever it might be, and you hope for the best. Now, I'm sure my dogs have a lot to do with this, but I'm not going to get rid of them because of an allergy. No, that's not going to happen. You just got to bathe them more often and get some of the allergens off them. If you've seen the other day, especially when they like to go in the living room, if you've seen when my girlfriend swept up in one pile under the couches and throughout the living room, you'd say, holy shit, dude, no wonder. Yeah, right. No wonder. So, what do you do when you have something like that? You get rid of the dogs, but that ain't going to happen. But I think it could be even in the oats or whatever I eat. It could be. I could have a gluten intolerance if I'm getting gluten. I mean, I haven't been tested for centuries. Might be a good time to do it. But you deal with this, and you hope that this works, you hope that that works, and what more can you do? Then you find the time, you have all this nasal relief, and you say, oh, God, that's a lot better. Much better. So many times you hear my shows, and you're going to hear this, right? Like I'm doing some lines or something. No, it's, you'll hear that, and that's from a post-nasal drip, the back of the throat. It's a bitch. I admit it. It's an absolute bitch to deal with. But I think the moral of this show today is that sometimes you have to do things that you don't want to do, but you feel that you have to do it to get remedy. Keep that in mind. That's all I really have to say. Deal with issues in your life, issues in tissues. In my case, definitely a lot of tissues here. But you deal with it and you do the best with what you have. And to make yourself feel comfortable, you can always say to yourself, well, things could be worse. And they could be. But you face any reality that comes your way. And you deal with it in the best way you could. And you hope for the best. You got to take care of yourself, or else, your body ain't going to take care of itself on its own. I can tell you that. And that's just a fact. That's a factoid. Okay. I don't know what you're expecting to hear this morning. Not much. I just thought I'd create a little diversion here to get away from my blowing my nose and, using this little device, which is so worthwhile. This one comes with a mask too. And all it is water with saline in it. You see that? You can stick that in your nasal, or you have a mask. Comes in handy. It can help break up that mucus. Isn't that cool? You could use this as a sinus, or you could use a mask to get your nasal and your lungs if you need it. That's pretty cool, actually. There we go. Sound good, don't I? Yeah, I know. Or you could use a room humidifier, which is what I have here, overnight. Because if you use air conditioning, it's going to dry out the room. You want your sinuses to be moist. I think you get the picture on this, don't you? All right, well, there's another exciting show for you. I don't know what you expected to hear, but that's it.